So if you want to take off that gun and badge, I'm happy to scrap with you one day. You want to do it, let's do it. Let me know, buddy.
That is not a crime, and you're telling me to get out of my vehicle.
If you didn't know, I went to the police academy and they kicked me out.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
Spit me on my face right now! She spit in my face!
Our blubbering buffoon buddy Glenn decides to visit the Seattle Police Department and find out who it was that placed that police advisory on his record. All to no avail, of course. Enjoy. Hey, don't forget, Mr. Serio, I'm exposing you for the racist, bigoted, misogynistic pig that you are. And I don't care if I ever make a dime on these videos on YouTube, because I've always included your racist rants, which you have now taken down from your channel. Isn't that coincidental? Took down the rants about you being a racist. Oh, how lovely. Enjoy the video.
Viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello. Is there a sergeant available?
What do you need?
It's regarding, like, something that's been put on my record that shouldn't be there.
We have no control over what's on your record that shouldn't be there.
Well, I mean, you guys put it there, so you do have the control.
It has to be taken off by the court.
Well, it's not like a criminal charge. It's like a warning.
Danger, danger. Approach with caution. The man is a blubbering buffoon.
It's like a warning to all police. Like, I'm a danger. I think it's called a hazard warning.
Probably goes through the state.
What would you expect, Linda? You harass police every chance you get, and you challenge them to a fight.
A few minutes later.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Stevens.
Nice to meet you.
You're being audio video recorded.
Yes. Nice to meet you.
As am I can see.
Okay. So I was told by Shoreline PD that there's like a hazard warning on my record, and it's to alert all police that I'm a danger or a threat to them. And I just want to like get more information about that.
Glenn's not really concerned about the so-called hazard warning. What Glenn wants to do is file a complaint form. And then eventually he wants to file a lawsuit against the officer in the city and collect big money. Because let's be serious about this for just a moment. It takes a lot of money to feed that big boy.
Figure out what, like, because I was told that Seattle PD put it on there. They're the ones that put it on there, and they told me there's no control. They just stopped me. They stopped me because of that. So like it's impeding on my life because I'm being pulled over for, you know, I don't have to do anything. I'm just labeled as a threat.
Look, birdbrain, if you didn't constantly challenge the police to a mutual combat fight, perhaps there wouldn't be a hazard warning on your record. But you can't shut your mouth, not even for 5 seconds.
Well, you wouldn't be pulled over for having a hazard. It would be on there. If an officer were to stop you for some reason, it would just notify the officer.
Right, but who has the power to just put information in a computer system and label people? That's like, you know what I mean? That's kind of...
You must have had, and I don't know the circumstances, but you must have had contact with the police at some point. Somebody decided that maybe you were being violent on that occasion, and somebody decided that...
But if I didn't receive charges...
No, bozo. You never received any charges, but you certainly made your fair share of threats. Let's roll that clip to remind everyone.
You can come try to make me. You're welcome to try to make me. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. I didn't receive any type of like, you know, criminal charges or whatever. I could understand if I was a criminal and I went to prison or jail, right? But nothing like that's happened. So it's like you just type something in, put it in there, and I'm labeled. It's not right.
Yeah, I don't know the circumstances.
Sergeant, I'll give him the legal unit number. Okay. He can talk to the attorneys for the department.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll give you a phone number. You can talk to the legal department.
The legal department?
Yeah.
The legal department? Oh, that's right up Glen Street because he attended the YouTube law school for Frauditors. By the way, this is a good time to remind everyone what a racist, homophobic pig that Glenn is. Roll that clip.
How's it going, officer? How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
License.
Driver's license? What are you pulling me over for?
Raise down that one for me, please.
What's that? How far?
Why I pulled you over?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem telling you that. I was just on the traffic stop.
Yeah.
Okay, you drove fast, you held up traffic.
I asked you.
Just give me a second. You asked me a question, and I'm letting you know.
This is one thing that Glenn does very well. He deflects from the topic at hand. Shut your mouth and let the officer talk.
Okay. You held up traffic. It's crowded street. It's snow and ice out here. And on top of that, what you said, you out there harassing somebody else again? Is that correct?
Yes,
and then
I did.
on top of that, I said, sir, I need you to move on. And you said, your words exactly, fuck you, nigga.
I didn't say
and
that.
And then you said
That's
it again.
not true.
Fuck you, nigga.
That's not true.
I precisely remember
That's not
that.
true.
Okay, it doesn't make a difference at this point. Let me see your driver's license and your registration, please.
You were in the middle of a traffic stop and you chased me down? Is that what you're saying? You were in the middle of a traffic stop and you chased me down?
So
that sounds illegal.
You understand? You know that. You knew that I was in the middle of a traffic stop.
If you're saying that you just said you're conducting a traffic stop, and then I asked you, are you harassing people?
Look, Glenn, we all know you're a few cans short of a six-pack the way you drive around and harass police all the time. Shut your mouth and take your citation. Go about your business.
And
okay. And so you admitted to stop in the middle of the roadway.
I didn't stop in the middle of the road. There was a dead stop. It was red light. I stopped at the red light.
I wasn't.
I have it on video. I have it on video.
Okay. Then
Thank
you
you
have
so
the
much.
Transaction.
Thank you so much.
Then you should have your words on there as well.
Yeah.
I need your registration.
Yeah, and they can maybe assist you with that. I don't know how you got a hazard report.
But I don't know if the legal department's gonna help me. I need to talk to the person that put that on my record. That like.
See, I have no idea who it was.
But it says on your system. You look at it. You can tell me, right?
Just say I think that there's a hazard report that you've been maybe combative or something with police. Did you ever get arrested?
No, I had never been arrested by CLPD, ever.
Have you ever been arrested anywhere else?
Like north, ever long years ago. Like
we won't get into specifics here because we don't want the poor lad to accuse us of doxing him. But he's had his fair share of run-ins with the police. You can visit the Washington Police website and it'll tell you exactly what he's done wrong.
Okay.
More than
that may have been the agency that put the report.
No, I'm told by Shoreline PD. It's Seattle PD that put it on there.
I don't know the circumstances.
They surrounded my car with about 4 different cops, and I said, "Why is there 4 different police officers?"
Why did they pull you over? Do you know?
Well, they said that they just told me like there's a hazard warning on my record, and that. I said, why is there so many cops? And they're like, well, you're labeled as a threat to law enforcement.
Let's take a brief look at a video clip to which this idiot is referring to. 3 a.m. He is parked in a school parking lot adjacent to a park. Let's roll that clip.
How can I help you? Hello? How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm Officer Newman at the Federal Way Police Department. That's
Yeah.
okay, you can record me. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I'm just checking up on you, making sure everything's okay.
Everything's good.
Okay. What are you doing in the park?
I pulled over to answer a phone call.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just checking up on you.
Yeah.
We have
Would you mind lowering the... I cannot see.
Okay, sorry about that. I just want to make sure I can see you, though.
Yes, be careful, officer, because Glenn will file a complaint against you and invoke the Bain Act, which is only valid in California, but he doesn't care. He'll still file a complaint on you.
So, my name's Officer Nguyen.
Yeah.
I said it earlier. What's your name?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now you're being detained.
For what?
For suspicious circumstances. We're investigating.
Okay, what's suspicious about being parked at a park?
Okay. Do you have your ID on you by chance?
What do I need ID for?
I'd like to identify you.
You can identify me by my plate. You already ran my plate.
Okay.
That's a stupid comment there, Glenn. Anyone could be driving the car, How do they know it's the registered owner? You're batshit crazy.
So I'm not being pulled over, right?
No, but you are being stopped and detained for suspicious circumstances.
It seems like you already know who I am. They just said my name, right?
Okay.
Is that right?
Well, I don't know if that's your real name or not. So I'm
Sure
just
you
trying to... What's your name?
He just said it on the radio.
That was your name?
Yeah, that's my name.
Okay.
They wouldn't have pulled you over for that reason, though. You must have had like a traffic violation.
Well, they tried to say that, of course, to justify their, but that wasn't the case.
But you wouldn't know about the hazard unless they pulled you over and they ran your plate or something.
Well, I had to call the sergeant and ask the sergeant why there's four police officers for one traffic stop.
Glenn lives in a fantasy world and always twists the narrative to benefit himself. It's all a pack of lies.
It doesn't make sense. It's a waste of taxpayers' funds.
Well, they're another agency, just so you know. They're not Seattle PD insurance.
Yeah, they're different.
And if they want to respond with 4 officers to a hazard call, I mean, that's up to them.
But you have to understand, it might seem normal to you, but this isn't normal. You don't.
Just the phone number.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
So I wrote down her number, name.
Okay. So this is the name of Rebecca. Is that boat right? If you call this number there, you can speak to somebody there.
This is the contact information for the law department. Unfortunately for Glenn, they will not be able to assist him.
I don't have the power to remove anybody.
It's not about removing. It's giving me the proper information to lead me to the right source where they input the information. So, if you could look on the system, I know you're.
I don't know who the officer is, and I don't think there's any way to find out, for me to find out who the officer was that put you in the system.
So, if I gave you my driver's license and you looked me up, you couldn't see
I can see that there's a hazard report.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's really vague.
No, I'll tell you what's really bad is your treatment of African American police officers. Let's roll that clip to remind everyone.
You work for me. You are my slave. You work for me. I brought you from Africa, you motherfucker. I brought you from Africa, motherfucker. You are my bitch. I mean, that's...
Well, and it would have information like what it was, like you're known to be violent. Or,
it doesn't say the source, where they...
Well, it would say if you've been violent in the past with law enforcement, or if you've got a history of, crisis incidents, it might say something like that. But if you call them, they could maybe give you some more information. I don't have the power to remove you from the system if that's what you're kind of looking for. But you could talk to somebody in the legal department.
Well, this is like lawyers, right? This is SPD attorneys or something.
No worries at all, Glenn. You're almost a lawyer. Almost.
Oh, is that a law?
Against the law.
Oh, what law is that? Funny, because I've never heard about that.
I believe so.
I don't know if that's... I need to speak to someone maybe downtown that can,
Okay, and they might be able to direct you to somebody else if they're not able to, but I don't have the power. Nobody here at the precinct has the power.
It just amazes me, something like that can be put on someone's record, but no one has any information about it. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Someone somewhere put it on there, and that's there, and we don't know anything about it. We're just...
It's not a conviction for anything. It's just an advisement to law enforcement. If somebody were to contact you for some reason, it just gives a heads up to those officers that other police have had contact with you in the past, and they have reason to think that you could maybe pose a threat to the officer.
Glenn hates all cops and will sweep their leg anytime.
Are you threatening me? I am Cornholio.
But if I've never been a threat to the officer...
Well, that's your opinion, but in the opinion of the officers who previously contacted you and who put you in the system, they believe that future officers should have a heads up that you might pose a threat to them.
And you think that's justified?
I'm not saying whether it's justified in your case or not, but somebody at some point in time felt that it was, and that's why they put you in the system.
I mean,
and I don't have the power to take you out of the system.
Right, and I that's fine.
But it's not a conviction, and you shouldn't be getting stopped for having the hazard. It should be, if Shoreline stopped you, I assume that they had a traffic violation or some other reason for doing it.
He was real adamant.
At this point, Glenn is desperate to get this off his record. almost like a beggar on the street begging for money.
I like the way you beg, boy.
Tell me about it. The sergeant was really, he expressed it to me. He was like, hey, this is why we had 4 police officers pull you over.
Well, that's probably why they had that number, but they wouldn't pull you over for having a hazard. I mean, that is not a basis for pulling somebody over on a traffic stop. So you must have maybe had expired tags.
Well, if you run my plates, you see a hazard,
right,
and then you create a justified reason to pull me over.
That. I don't know why they did. You'd have to talk to those officers to see why they pulled you
over. Well, Shoreline PD, they don't have any information. I've tried to talk to them. They just tell me they see a hazard, and I have to talk to Seattle PD. So I went here.
You went here? What kind of grammar is that for such a high-level English major, Glenn?
I've actually studied English, and I have over a 400-level education in English. I went downtown. And
well, to say you have to talk to Seattle PD, I mean, maybe Seattle PD put you in the system, but that's not to say that if you come into the precinct that we can take you out of the system. But if you want to give a call to the legal department, they might be able to.
So you're telling me you can put a hazard ID on someone, but you can't remove it?
I can't.
But you can put one on?
I'm saying I can't remove it.
You can put one on?
Yes.
So there's a system.
So we write up the paperwork and it gets sent somewhere, and somebody else actually inputs it into the system.
Okay, so you have to fill out forms to do this.
Right.
Is there a form that I can see with information?
Glenn is desperate at this point and grasping at straws for any shred of information, but gets none.
There isn't?
There's nothing I can give you. But why don't you give them, I really don't think I'm going to be able to help you with this. Why don't you give them a call and see what they can do for you?
I'll give them a call, but I feel like that's just kind of leading me. Because last time I went downtown and they gave me the number to the IT department. And I called the number a bunch of times and it wasn't the IT department for SPD. It was for another service. They're like, we have no affiliation with the SPD. And it was just like, I'll take this and I'll call it, but I feel like I'm running around in circles.
First off, Glenn, you can't run. So running in circles is not really a viable option for you. But you talk in circles, so carry on.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not. Nobody here at the precinct is going to be able to assist you with. I think you want to get out of the system is what you're asking. Right?
Yes, I want out of the system.
And nobody at the precinct is going to be able to do that for you.
And there's nobody you can contact to say, hey, this guy came into my precinct.
Well, those folks right there.
I mean, you can't send an email to maybe an investigator or a detective. I feel like this has to be from a detective or something, someone that.
Just try and give them a call, and if they don't have the information, they can probably point you in the right direction. The legal department is better equipped to handle that than we are here at the precinct.
Okay, can I have your name and badge number?
Sure. I'm Sergeant Stevens, and 6180 is my badge.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care.
Yep.